Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Backbone Podcast, where common sense still makes sense in a world that is sick and only getting sicker. And social media today is on fire. Unbelievable accounts that are going on right now. You know, back in the day, we used to call the internet the World Wide Web. Well, the webs are weaving, the spiders are out, and they're all over the place. And I have to say that it's the usual suspects, if you know what I mean. You know, those guys with the little hats that are on fire today. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. You have these mayoral races going on. The big one, of course, is in New York. Incredible endorsements coming from people that I never thought would endorse certain people. You have the big interview that we're going to show you clips of today, or acting job by our homegirl Erika Kirk. And let me tell you something. She is a not a smoke show anymore. She used to be. Mercy. But when she came out the other day with those fucking leather pants, I have to say she is a woman on fire. Look up the term widow fire. You'll know what I'm talking about. She is on the prowl. And I wish it was me. But anyway, well, I'm not going to take a bullet to the neck for anybody. But homegirl is already making the rounds. But right now, and it is a big story. And Jesse Waters, and I don't even know if anybody watches him anymore, but he'll have the interview today. We're running tonight. It's probably a puff piece, frankly. But social media is on fire. The attacks on Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson by Ben Shapiro, who put up a 40-minute fucking rant on Tucker Carlson not being MAGA and the conservative movement belongs to us. What does he mean, us? And we can't allow these people to take over. We have to denounce the Reuters and all that bullshit. Mark Levin chimed in. There's a great clip on him. I'm not going to use it because I'm not 100% sure if it's AI or not, because he uses some strong language. But maybe if I can verify it later on. Laura Loomer and what's his name? Ralph Fine, whatever the fuck his name is. You know, the usual suspects. They were out in force today. And it's the same talking points. As I told you before, if you have these big corporations or these big groups, they all have communications departments, and they all coordinate the same attacks. So it's the same thing. If you go on X, it'll be no Nick Fuentes, no Tucker Carlson, no Reuters. No, it's the same thing. It's just no. And Nick has been responding to this, of course, as we knew Nick would. And we will cover some of the clips of his response from tonight tomorrow. He'll be responding tonight. I think he said 9 o'clock Central Time. So maybe, just maybe, Nick will be on time and I won't have to go to bed because, I have early. I'm very, very busy. But, so that's Nick and that's Tucker. And that's social media on fire today. Tomorrow, of course, is Election Day. And incredibly, President Donald Trump, the Orange Messiah, made his most overt endorsement, I think, of his entire career. He endorsed Andrew Cuomo, as did Elon Musk, for the New York City mayoral race. Trump is quoted as saying to New Yorkers, and I quote, must vote for the former disgraced governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, over Zoran Mondani. Trump said this on election eve. His appeal that his hometown, and he's a New Yorker, he's from Jamaica Estates, I think he was from, would become, and I quote, an economic and social disaster if the Democrat nominee were victorious tomorrow for the mayor's seat of New York City. And you know what? He's right. I almost want to see it happen. I almost want to see it happen. But I still have a lot of friends that are up there. I still have some relatives that are up there, and I don't think that they can survive. The New York Post reported that it's estimated that over 1 million fucking people will leave New York City over the next 4 years if this guy's elected. 1 million. Now that might be what the plan is. Get all the white working class white people out of there and make New York City what the danger prediction was 25 years ago. Make New York City either for the very, 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 very wealthy and for the very, very, very poor. No in between. Because the wealthy almost can't leave New York. There's just too much there that they're entrenched in. Wall Street, Broadway, media and communications. So a lot of them can't leave. And they will have to flip the bill for these people who are on food stamps and welfare and Section 8 and all that other shit. Trump went on to say, if communist candidate Zoran Mandami wins the election for mayor of New York City, it is highly unlikely that I will be contributing federal funds other than the very minimum as required to my beloved first home, because of the fact that as a communist, this once great city has zero chance of success or even survival. I don't know what the minimum is for federal funds. I don't see why the federal government has to give these states anything or these cities anything if they fuck up. And this would be a major league fuck up of epic proportions. But again, we'll have to see what goes on. And this is Donald Trump talking about endorsing Andrew Cuomo, who is the independent and a Democrat, who hated him during COVID. Remember, Andrew Cuomo was the grandma killer during COVID. Trump did not endorse Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa, formerly of the Guardian Angels, because a vote for Sliwa is basically voting for Mamdani. And it's believed by these pollsters that if Cuomo can get 30%-ish of Sliwa's votes, he could pull out a victory tomorrow. Trump went on to say, and I quote, "It can only get worse with the communists at the helm, and I don't want to send, as president, good money after bad. It is my obligation to run the nation, and it is my strong conviction that New York City will be a complete, total economic and social disaster should Mamdani win." He's right. But he has a lot of support, and he has a lot of support from these fucking unions like the Teachers Association and all this shit. And the minute you tell people that you're going to give them that magic 4-letter word, free, 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 they're going to vote for you. They don't give a shit they don't care where that money comes from. You're going to make the buses free? Great. You're going to make the trains free? Great. You're going to make this free? Great. More. And you're going to have a welfare state that will collapse within 2 years. New York City will not be able to survive 2 years with this guy. Trump has for weeks made it clear that he thinks that city Republicans should back Cuomo rather than Sliwa. But this was a forceful plea. Trump wrote on his social media, "I would much rather see a Democrat who has a record of success win," in capital letters, "than a communist with no experience and a record of complete and total failure," all in caps, Trump wrote. Now, this is going to upset Curtis Sliwa, of course, because Sliwa is a Republican, and he probably supported Donald Trump during his presidency. But, you got to take the lesser of the two evils. Cuomo is a moderate Democrat. He's not anywhere near how brilliant and wonderful his father was. His father was one of the greatest orators of all time. He could have been president in 1992 had he just swayed and was not as stubborn on the death penalty in New York City, which New York City hasn't used the death penalty in almost 70. I think the Rosenbergs were the last ones. That was probably federal. But people wanted the death penalty in New York. He refused, and he lost a very narrow race a few years later to George Pataki, who ended up being a lummox anyway. Trump goes on to say he was nothing as an assemblyman, ranked at the bottom of the class, and as mayor of potentially, again, the greatest city in the world. In caps, he has no chance to bring it to its former glory. We must also remember this. A vote for Curtis Sliwa, who looks much better without the beret, in quotes, that's Donnie, is a vote for Mondani. And Donald's right. Donald's right. But here is the line that really got me. And Elon Musk was pretty much said the same thing. Trump goes on, and I quote, to say, whether you personally like Andrew Cuomo or not, which is a little jab saying he personally does not like Andrew Cuomo, you really have no choice. You must vote for him and hope he does a fantastic job. He is capable of it. Mondani is not, end quote. Musk said the same thing. Musk said the same thing. And for those two guys, I mean, what does Elon Musk care about the mayoral contest in New York? For those two guys to come out, it's got to be very concerning for the government, for the federal government. New York is the largest city in the country, obviously. And as it goes, other states will go. Right? I think there's like a Somalian that's running for the mayor's race in Jersey City, and he says he's going to do all these crazy fucking things. We also have the mayor's race in Minneapolis, which is tightening up now to dangerous levels. And nobody cares about Minneapolis. It's not a major city like New York is. But New York is now in play. It seems like it's getting tight. But listen, a lot of these yuppies, especially these retarded white kids from Nebraska who want to come to New York to be a yuppie, they vote for these fucking people. They vote for guys like Mondani. Why? Well, here's the problem. Everything in New York is fucking expensive. A studio apartment that's 60 square feet can run you $3,000 a month. So if you're going to tell some kid who's 25 years old, who just came here from Kansas because he's an art major, that he's going to get this for free and that for free and this for free, well, he's going to vote for you. Now, does he realize that none of that shit's going to happen? No. Does he take into account that the police department's not going to come protect him or help him if he's getting stabbed by illegals and MS-13? No, he doesn't care about that. He just is voting for the now. He's not voting for the future. That's why when you hear Kamala Harris and all these other Democrat, liberal, progressive retards talk about lowering the voting age to 16, they should just be disqualified from ever getting involved in office again. I think the only people who should be allowed to vote are people who own property. That's when things will really, really fucking change. And to be honest, I think only white Christian males should be able to vote anyway. But that's not that those days are over. But why are we on here today? Well, we got our homegirl Erika, who's got the leather pants and the T-shirt, the hair down, and the smiling. I mean, you would think that this girl who 2 months ago saw her husband get his head blown off or neck blown off, she'd be a little bit in mourning still. She's got Dago in her. You think she'd be like a Sicilian widow wearing a little black outfit with the black shawl, but no, not Erika. She's moving straight ahead. And if you saw her with that, everybody's talking about that JD Vance thing with her holding the head. Let me tell you something. Some widows, and I know this personal experience a few times, they get a little randy once the dirt is on that box, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. They get that husband's in the ground. It's free play now. It would not surprise me if this girl has gotten it in the last 2 months. Would it surprise you? There's rumors that she's banging the one of these, I don't know, corporate officers of Turning Point USA now. There's a rumor, allegedly. Of course, we know she's a child of God. She says it. One of her companies is Bible 365, I think it's called, where you read the Bible over the course of a year. That's one of her 3 businesses. So I think she has 3. It's that. I think she has like a clothing line. And then she now has Turning Point USA, which is all to herself. And again, I've said this before and I'll say this again. I don't believe that this girl met Charlie Kirk on a fucking interview. That story is bullshit. This is an act. Is it an interview or an act? I'm going to leave that to you for you to decide. But homegirl is always with the tearing and wiping of the eyes and this and that. She never messes up her makeup. You notice that? Never messes anything up. This is a girl who took political science in school. She was an actress. She was a model. She was a fucking beauty queen, right? Miss Arizona. Her dad had a high position in the Pentagon. Her mother was incredibly influential and powerful in the state of Arizona. This girl had connections up the ass, money up the ass. She didn't need Charlie Kirk, fucking guy with a podcast. There's something not right. She's very comfortable in front of the camera. She's very comfortable talking. She knows the cues. She knows when to put her head down and wipe the eyes. She knows when to pause and look up. She knows it all. She is a natural. And with all these jobs and all these interviews and all these things she's doing, when is she raising these kids? She has two little babies. Who the fuck is taking care of them? But it's Erika's time now. Let's see some of these clips from that other waffle, Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters, wasn't he like an intern for Bill O'Reilly? Here she is.
Do you feel safe?
What are they going to threaten me with? Going to heaven sooner to be with my husband? And I don't say...
There we go. She didn't even wait. And I haven't watched this clip yet. She hasn't even waited. And there's the napkin in the hand. The tissue in the hand. Going right after it. Heaven, Charlie, napkin, handkerchief. I got homegirl locked.
that to be reckless. I do not. I do not say that because I'm out in the streets like, here I am, come find me. And it's not at all. It's a fearlessness that's rooted in the understanding that I will have my day and my time, whenever that is. When the Lord knows that I've completed my mission. And I'm not afraid. Charlie wasn't afraid either. We never lived in fear. If we did, we wouldn't get anything done.
Do you feel safe?
What are they going to threaten me with?
She's good. She's good. So she's now the brave, strong widow. The brave widow that doesn't have to worry about anything because God is on her side, which is true. That's a great way to be. But come on, mama. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. Now, this is one where she talks to she tells Jesse about Charlie working with Jesus. He's going to work with Jesus. And you notice look at the staging. All right, this is called blocking. And if you think this is just a quinky dink, you're crazy. You got Charlie in the middle, Charlie holding his fist up in the air. You got Honey Baby over here. You got that lummox Jesse Waters over there looking like a dork. Charlie behind him, right? The chair, pictures all over the place. You know what you don't see? You do not see a cross. You don't see a cross. That's weird. Maybe it's back there and you don't really see it, but you would think these people are Jesus freaks, that Jesus would be somewhere around, but no, it's Charlie. Charlie is the new Jesus for these people. It's amazing to me. This is so bizarre. She looks good, though, I gotta say.
That Charlie was going on a work trip with Jesus. Are they still asking, where's Daddy?
Yes, my daughter continues to ask, but it's really sweet because I keep explaining to her a few things. And I said, if ever you want to talk to Daddy, you just look up to the sky and start talking to him.
That's perfect. That's fucking perfect. That is, I can't explain to you how great the timing is. And look at the rings on her. How many piercings on that ear does she have? How many fucking rings does she have? She is really good. And when she says Daddy, it just does something to me. But doesn't sound like a perfect. But this was perfect. We got to go back. The looking up. Hold on.
You want to talk to Daddy, you just look up to the sky and start talking to him. He can hear you. It's always in your heart. And I told her, I said, you know, Daddy is in heaven. She goes, you think I could go sometime? I said, baby, we will all go one day. We will all go one day.
Told your children.
Call me a cynical asshole, but I've been around people like this. Real actors and politicians politicians are basically actors, just they're ugly. That is top notch. Top fucking notch. I don't care what anybody says. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. I have to say, she's really good. She's a whole lot better than I thought. And unless she's been groomed for this, I can't confirm. But Homegirl is really good. Really good. All right. We will be on tomorrow. I don't know when, but we will cover some of these electoral proceedings that are going on tomorrow. I will definitely have a reaction in the comments for the Nick reaction, because that should be fun. And we will see if we are on the right side of history. I'm starting to believe that we're not, but we have God, so we can't lose. Keep the faith, gentlemen. Keep the faith. And there's my 2 cents. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Remember, my friends, Satan is always busy, and he's going to be busy tomorrow. Be a man, have a backbone, because masculinity and common sense are worth standing up for. And remember, if it ends in an ism, it's a mental disorder. We'll see you later.